Something we need to talk about is imposter syndrome. Lots of us go through it. Some of us admit it. Some of us don't, but we've all had it one time or another. Let's talk about imposter syndrome with the one and only Mr. Brian Adamson. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. As always, man. Happy to be here.
Yes, you're looking good. You had a week off. You did a cruise with the lovely wife to the Caribbean. You look well rested and smiling. So good for you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I mean, and then jump right into an event last week, right? So
there you go.
The tale of two cities, as they say.
well, let's talk about this because again, you're you help a lot of people with their business, growing their business. One of the things that I often see with folks is they just don't believe it's possible.
Yeah.
Right. They're kind of defeated before they've even started. And I admit to being one of those folks, right? Yeah. I don't have the ability to see the future in technicolor, and I don't dream big. And a lot of that's probably because of imposter syndrome. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to clear up about imposter syndrome, to your point, I deal with it just as much as you do. Right. But I want to define it first, because I think a lot of people think it means something different than what it does. Okay. So first of all, imposter syndrome is a psychological condition that causes high achieving people to doubt their abilities despite evidence of their own achievements. So it's a psychological condition that exists within high achieving individuals that causes them to doubt their achievements and accomplishments despite having evidence of their success.
That sounds like me. Yeah, that sounds like me.
100%, right? So if you're dealing with imposter syndrome, congratulations, right? That's the first part, because it's only existing people that actually have the achievements. They just can't see themselves the way that they need to see themselves, right? So that's why it's important to be in community. And that's why I love the ORaaT celebration that you've been doing, because it helps to put you in a room of people that hold a mirror up to you so that you see the proper angle. Because if you're not around like-minded people, you're not around similar aspirational people, and you're dealing with the remember when friends from your beginning, and you're dealing with the family members that can't see your vision, and you're dealing with all these other people, and you can't see yourself properly, then you're missing a perspective that's robbing you of the rooms you should be in, of the things you should be pursuing, and the relationships that you could have if you could only zoom out and see yourself the way you should. What most people might deal with today that they call imposter syndrome is not it. It's actually the opposite of imposter syndrome, which is called the Dunning-Krueger effect. The Dunning-Krueger effect is where a person who has not had the accomplishments over indexes in talking about and doing things as if they do.
I see that a lot. Yeah, claiming to do work you've never done and had experiences that you never had is that happens a lot. I didn't realize that was a name for that. What is it again?
It's called the Dunning-Krueger effect.
All right.
So that's the opposite of imposter. So most people say they got imposter syndrome. It's like, no, you got the Dunning-Krueger effect. You haven't done what you say you do.
Right.
And so, I, as an example, my consultant, he and his wife went on their 25-year anniversary. They went to Ireland and did that whole tour over there.
Nice.
And so he said they're sitting at lunch, and unfortunately, the guy that he brought with him, who's on his third marriage, and actually not even married at the time. He's with this girl, but they're not married yet. But he's been through 3 marriages. So they're sitting at this table for lunch. There's 15 couples there. All have had at least 5 years of marriage. Guess who was the only person that was giving out marriage advice at the table?
Oh, yeah. The guy had 3 divorces.
That's the Dunning-Krueger effect, right? People who lack the wherewithal, they're so full of themselves that even though they're not good at whatever they're talking about, they still talk about it. And that's probably what we see more often than not on social media every single day. That's the Dooms brothers, right? I mean, that's what we see every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how I just love the way your brain works, because it's very different than mine, and you have experience and skills that are different than mine. Yeah, it is happening in real time right in front of us. And I will look at people differently now when I hear them give talks or I watch on YouTube. I'll be like, you're this or you're that, because it is actually opposite of what I thought. So imposter syndrome versus Dunning-Krueger effect. So very, very, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you look at that, when people like us, and for those that are watching that are actually good at something that tends not to see themselves properly, that's damaging to society, business, life, and everything else, because that means that we're quieting the voices of the people that should be talking up, and then we're giving the platforms to the fools that should not be speaking and influence others.
Yeah, we're given it's like we're creating our own little vacuum, and other ants run in to fill it up, and they just don't have that. They don't have the experience. And when you get a bunch of clowns, i.e., 3 divorces, giving marriage advice, you just don't hear one side of the story.
That's good. Yeah. So when thinking about that, right? What's some of the ways? And I know, at least I believe, you have another ORaaT celebration coming up in probably 6 months, if not less. What's some of the things that because you do a very good job at curating the room, right? Everyone that I've been at, it's really, and I know it's a science behind it, but it's really unbelievable. Not just the different types of speakers, not just the quality of the speakers, but even the sequence by which you have them go, right? All of it is nothing short of scientific. But I'm very curious to know how can someone who's dealing with imposter syndrome, knowing now the definition of it, benefit so much from being at the ORaaT celebration?
Well, this is the 3rd time. We've learned a lot. And every time I do one, I try to have, a main goal, right? The first couple were the first one was just a celebration, right? Celebrate the millionaires. The second one was couples. This 3rd one, I'm getting kind of ballsy, and I'm trying to accomplish 4 goals. So again, this is going to be year 3. So the first one I have to find a way to do is shower, the millionaires who keep coming back, right? There will be folks there that are coming back for their 3rd time. They will have been with me on this channel for probably 5 years on average, maybe 3.5 years. So I have to realize that event, that 2-day event, is just as much about them as it is about me. So I have to make sure all of them feel love, because again, I don't pay for anybody's travel, right? If somebody's coming out, one of the millionaires, they're probably spending $3,000 on the low end, and maybe up to 5
or 6 for me both years.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So I have to do everything I can to make sure the millionaires get love and attention, which means they get a wonderful gift, right? I try to create memorable gifts that people will have. This year, it's already public knowledge, we're doing custom Nike shoes. I'm having the creator that created my custom ORaaT shoes create custom ORaaT or custom shoes for everybody who's coming back for their 3rd year. So there's like 20 people, and I'm actually having my creator work directly with them. So you create your own shoe, and I just pay for it, and we celebrate you on stage, and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a way to show that. That's one. Number 2, one of the things I do all year is when I get a new story, because I try to talk to 2 new people a week.
Okay.
Most of those land on my channel. Some are just duds, and they're like, you're not going on my channel, but most of them do. And I've collected 5 or 6 cool stories that I want more people to hear. Like most recently, Sharon and Sean, who are speaking as a couple, they took 2 years off and just traveled the world. Right? They're in their 30s. They're married, no kids yet. They built a real estate portfolio of, I think, like 10 or 11 units, but they took 2 years off to travel the world. That's a cool story. I want to share that. Another one, Andrea, she grew up in South America. She was a very good student. She was such a good student that she became a doctor, like a medical doctor. But she realized that she couldn't build wealth, even though she had, the creme de la creme job in the country, because everything went to the country. And so she left, and she gave up all the schooling. She's not an MD in the United States, and she just had to figure it out. She came here for a better vision, and now she's a multimillionaire because of real estate. I want that story told, right? So I've collected 5 or 6 really cool stories. Then I want to have people from my school community who are finding ways to make it happen. Right. We're going to have, Jared talk about rent by room. We're going to talk, Brandon's going to talk about infill ground up development. Hopefully we're going to get Derek, that ADU guy, there to talk about ADUs. We're still trying to work out calendars. And then finally, this year, unlike last year where I had couples kick it off, I'm actually going to have Gen Z kick it off. Right? Cody Davis is now a 25-year-old multimillionaire, and Dylan's a millionaire at I think he's 28 or maybe he's 29. But I'm going to have Gen Z kick it off, and it's going to be a kick in the pants for lots of us. Right? I'm Gen X, and to go see somebody who's half my age, who's younger than my daughter by years, up there telling me how he's done it. It should be eye-opening for folks. So I've spent a lot of time trying to put together a 2-day event that accomplishes all that. Show love to people that have been with me for years.
Yeah.
Highlight new stories I collected this year, how people are winning today, and then Gen Z. And then, oh, by the way, cherry on top, I have two keynotes. We have Pace Morby, who's going to come in and keynote Sunday, and we have Jason Hartman, who's going to keynote Saturday.
Wow.
So we're bringing in the big guns. This is the most stacked deck that I've created to date. So I feel really good about this. I've been working on it. I probably put 100 hours into this already. But that's what I'm thinking about for the 2-day event.
That's huge, bro. That's huge. And while doing all of this, you somehow still accomplished the goal of keeping it affordable, quote unquote.
It didn't raise prices, same price as last year.
Like it costs, right? And it should, because of the quality. But at the very same time, like, someone doesn't have to mortgage their future just to get there. And the relationships that I've seen and heard developed in that room have been on the beginning of being lifelong relationships with some people. They're doing business, they're collaborating, they're seeing each other every year. There's so many meetings happening outside of that meeting, right? From the connections that happen. The room is just absolutely electric, and is filled with the thing I like most, that I think would benefit people that's even been suffering from imposter syndrome, is the fact that you're in a room full of doers.
Yes, that's the big thing. I said this year one and meant it. I could do everything. I could get the best speakers, but none of it matters. It's all about the audience. Every event is about the audience. If they're just sitting on their hands and they're not taking notes and they're just staying in their own little cliques, it doesn't do anything. An ORaaT event is so different because everybody, it's like a family reunion.
It is.
It's pretty wild.
It is. And I mean, even the 18-year-old that I was talking to last year was mine.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And just the audience being able to kind of push the conversation and guide the conversation. What happens is one person's question typically represents 10, 20, 30 people in that room, right? Yeah. So by being in the room, your peers are asking questions to the minds of the people that know the answers. And so rather than us have to figure out what content is best for the audience is giving us the direction for the best content for them, which just makes it a seamless thing for everybody.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to keep doing this until it doesn't work. Is every speaker is going to get 45 minutes. Some are 50 based on the time of the day. But they all are only supposed to create 30 minutes of content, because I want people to line up at the microphone and ask questions. Right? It's about the audience. I'm trying to serve the audience, and I'm trying to introduce you to cool stories. I'm trying to introduce you to, the people that make the channel. But my orientation is, what does the audience want? That drives every decision I make.
And truth be told, Mike, both you and I, speak in different capacities. The goal is always to get the audience what they want. So why not just let the audience tell you exactly what they want?
Yeah, absolutely. No, exactly.
That's brilliant. I still have gone. I mean, I've been around the block a little bit. I still haven't seen anybody do this format. The closest I saw to it was Daryl Eves at Vid Summit, which is a gargantuan event. But it's more like they speak for 40 minutes, and then I think it's 10 minutes Q&A where people can line up, which is still better than what you see at most places. But for you do the inverse of that, where we spoke for like 15, 20 minutes, and then it was 40 minutes of Q&A, which was crazy. And it was for me, I enjoyed it more than just having to stand up there and give a presentation the whole time personally.
No, and again, that's why I started with the millionaires, right? The people that have been with me for years and years and years. I have to make them feel loved, feel special. And the community, I mean, the community looks at you guys as, you know, part of the show, right? So yeah, you deserve all the time in the sun, all the millionaires do. And it brings me great joy to watch you get swarmed, you know, after you're done speaking. That puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people have been watching you for years. So yeah, it's fun. And I sprinkle in some new stories. You know, we go, you know, show some love to Gen Z. It's and I guess the last thing, again, something I'm going to keep doing, even though it cost me like 15 grand, is we're still going to do that podcast room, right? Which is set up for the millionaires, right? The millionaires can go in and they can pick whoever they want to go interview, create content. They can have it. I give it to you. And, you know, it's another way I can show love because, you know, getting in-person interviews is, you know, just another level. So, yeah. And last year you interviewed me, which is the only time that ever happened. So that was a fun memory I have.
That's right. That was really good.
Yeah.
So, maybe I missed this part, but
yep.
So it's going to be President's Day weekend again.
14th and 15th. So Valentine's Day, no better place to bring your loved one to Vegas and you travel back on Monday.
Yeah. And then, so year one, I know we had like, there was a different ticket situation, right? It was like general admission and VIP. Last year, I think it was a little different.
No, same. GA. Yeah. Okay. General admissions, $299, same price as last year. VIP is $699. Okay. VIP is limited. Yeah. That's it. That's all it is. It's only limited to 125 tickets. And I think we're about 20% sold out already on VIP.
I would imagine so. I didn't realize they were only $700, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and again, with the multiple headliners, they're going to be there the weekend. It's, it should sell out. So,
yeah. So if you're watching this, you probably want to click that link sooner than later.
Yeah, go get those tickets. It's
because when publicly, just the two people you name, if that gets out, like all the tickets, because nobody can pay what you just said to go see them anywhere else.
No, I mean Pace Morby, he has a I think he has a Vegas community of 300 people in sub 2, at least 300. So once Pace sends out the note saying I'm going to be in Vegas speaking at this event, you know, it could sell out with just that.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun for me to put on, but it's also a lot of work. One thing I said when I announced it is I don't know that I'm going to do year 4. Right?
You said that year 1. It's all right.
No, yeah. What I think I might do though, I mean, this is just two guys talking. I might wait until because the first one, if people don't remember, was a 50,000 celebration. And then that was so much fun, to your point. I said, wow, let's do this again. That feels good.
And we almost had 500 people there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4 something. And so we did year 2. Now we're doing year 3. But I might want to step back and go, you know what? Let's make this more special. And let's do it at 100,000. And oh, by the way, I'm not growing terribly fast. So that might be 2 years. So, you know, I'm certainly playing with that idea. We may save it for big milestones.
Interesting. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. But
I reserve the right to change my opinion, but
I think the people may twist your arm
a little bit.
You may have to. I don't know, Mike. It's going to be hard to break this rhythm, man. Seriously. People, they just, like, when we're there at the event, they're already talking about the next event.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. Unlike year 2, which I was pretty convinced we would do a year 3, I'm not there right now. It could change. I reserve the right to change my opinion. I'm just wanting people to know that I feel good about making this like year 1. Let's celebrate a big milestone together.
Yeah.
I get every 12 months. I mean, I've already gotten people, like, I think I had 15 or 20 people reach out to me saying, Zuber, you have to do it every year. And I hear you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But this costs a lot of money.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. These are not money-making endeavors, right? I lost money year 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, that's a good point, right? The way you do it is untraditional from the event model. uh, in that you just put, you know, and I don't want to say the actual number, but tens of thousands of dollars out there up front.
Yeah.
And you don't price it accordingly to make sure you recoup that. And that's
no. So yeah. I mean, I mean, just the gifts, right? Because again, it's really important to me. I started there with the Millionaires, right? I'm going to be spending something on the order of $18,000 to $20,000 on gifts.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, and that's without the venue, without the food, without the podcast, without the recording, without this. Yeah, it's a lot. So, you know, I don't know. I reserve the right to change my opinion, but I really am starting to think, let's do it at 100,000.
I like that though. It gives the community something to shoot for. I think when you put that out there, it's gonna probably happen at the same time that the next year would be anyway.
Yeah, you know, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe accelerating growth is a good thing. So I don't know.
Agreed.
But I'm really excited about this. I do think this is the most stacked lineup. I think I've threaded the needle where all of the millionaires will feel love. They'll get something special.
Yeah.
We're going to share some really cool new stories, 4 or 5 brand new people. We're going to bring back last year we had 2 great presentations that were not real estate. Mm-hmm. We had Fred, the pasture, talk about mindset. And we had Dr. Jeff talk about biohacking. Those were the 2 most liked. So both of them have agreed to come back. Mm. You know, so again, give the audience what they want. We got 2 headliners, Pace and Jason. And I'm vibrating with excitement. This feels like a special year to me.
For sure. And it will be, man. The heart behind it, the thoughtfulness that goes into it, and the quality of the people that's attracted to it, it's a can't miss regardless of how frequent you choose to do it. And so yeah. I just recommend it. If anybody hadn't been there, it is because I know the people that's been there, they already got their tickets.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah.
Been there that's watching this. You just got to do it. It's one of those things where we can't explain enough on the surface. When you walk in and I'm not mincing my words. When I walked in there Saturday morning as a speaker, it was an electricity that I can't even explain to you. To see how many people were there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that early in the morning.
8 a.m. I don't play around. 8 a.m. Man.
Go. You hear me? It's different than anything you've ever experienced. I can promise you that.
Oh man, I appreciate you. Always a lot of fun, Brian. If somebody want to reach out and follow you, how do they do that?
Brian Adamson Official everywhere.
There you go. Thank you, family.